inflammation, or I don't know what it was, but I used to spit up a lot of loogies all the time. And I was driving, and I had to spit. And usually I spit outside, but I spit out the window or whatever, but it was coughing so hard, and I just spit. I had a paper towel, I grabbed a paper towel, and I spit in my hand, and it was a bullet. It was the bullet. And
Wow.
He was like, damn, nigga, you spit up a bullet. This and that.
When I was a kid, all my heroes had firearms, and it was a natural thing. That's all I asked for Christmas. Folks were buying firearms from Rangers and not really knowing how to use them, so I thought that could be my thing. I could be like the family community gun guy. For the last 13 years, I've been sharing knowledge, common sense, just little tidbits of stuff that I've learned.
Just to put it all in a nutshell, he was teaching you gun control before it was a such word as gun control.
Well, he was the control. I mean,
that's right.
I didn't want to
Exactly.
get no, I can say whatever, right?
Yeah, you
I don't want to get no ass whooping. Well, I wouldn't have been saying that back then, but dude, that ain't, no.
That's right.
I mean, no.
And if you've been following the channel, you know I got a series called Storytelling. I tell a story about the first time my dad caught me playing with his gun. So that's why I brought that up. If you check it out, Storytelling. But I want to just go ahead and get right into the point of this interview. Is I want to ask you a question. So as a grown man, whether then or now, have you had any negative experiences with firearms?
Well, I only had one really where I had a few. I had guns pulled on me when I was younger, but I never, I had the police officer pull a gun on me once. I had a couple dudes pull a gun out. They didn't point it at me, but the police officer did. And then later on, I got a little older. I was like in my 20s, early 20s, and I got shot.
You got shot?
Yeah.
Wow, bro.
Yeah, so.
You got shot once?
No, actually I got shot twice, but I was running. I got shot up close. It was over a girl, and I was trying to calm the situation down, and it was in my car, and I was in my 20s. I felt like if I run, they gonna think I'm a punk, and I thought we was just gonna fight or just basically squash it. But I guess the guys got scared or whatever, and he was like, "Well, hold on, I'll be right back." I thought he was just gonna come back and we was gonna fight or whatever. I should have left maybe, but back then I couldn't do it. So guy comes out after the other guy. It was some extra guys that came out. I can't remember how many, but it wasn't the guy that I was talking to. It was another guy. He said, "Oh, so you the MF that think he bad," and he was far enough where I couldn't reach him, but he was close enough to shoot me. He was pointing the gun at me, and I turned to the side. I was like, "Hold on, man, it ain't got to be like that." He shot me in the shoulder. When he shot me in the shoulder, it was like a starter pistol. Like, I heard, pow. I just took off running. And then they was like, get him, get him, get him. And they was shooting at me, and he caught me in the elbow. So, I jumped some fences and ran to it was my baby mom's, but we ended up getting married or whatever, but we was just boyfriend and girlfriend. I was supposed to be there with her, but I was hanging out with my cousins, and we was playing the game, PlayStation or whatever, or maybe it was Sega. I don't know what was out in '93.
Play out. You said Sega.
I don't know. I don't know what was out in '93. I don't even play games no more.
I'm not laughing at the situation, but when you said
yeah,
Sega,
no, I'm saying I don't know what game, because it was just like a house party with a bunch of people. It was my cousin, my older brother, and it was everybody that I knew. My little cousin was with me, and I was about to take everybody home. Well, not everybody, but 3 people home. And some girl walked by, and she had on some Daisy Dukes or whatever the tight pants was back in the day in '93. Like I said, I can't even remember. But I know she had a nice body, and the dude was in the back seat on the passenger side said, "Damn, what's up?" or whatever. He said something, and I guess her boyfriend was like 2 or 3 houses down waiting for her, but he wasn't walking with her. And he just went off and got all mad. And I was like, look, man, you know, he was like, who the bitch motherfucker that said that? And, you know, he was going off. And I was like, oh, man. So that's why I ended up getting out the car. And then, like I said, so the guy came out and kept talking. And, you know, I got upset. And I was like, hold on, man. We can go. We can go. So he said, oh, what? I said, man, whatever you want to do. He was like, oh, okay, hold on. So he leaves and he came back. That's when the guy came back. So this is the dude who think he bad, huh? And he was about, I'll say about 5 feet from my arm stretched out maybe. Well, his arm was stretched out. He was 5 feet away from the tip of my fingers or whatever. So I turned to the side and I said, he shot me here. Started running. It was shooting at me and he caught me in the elbow. Then I went to my first wife house.
So, wow, man, that's absolutely incredible, man. You ran with 2 gunshots.
Yeah, man.
Tell me about that. You said you jumped some.
I jumped a 6-foot privacy fence. I jumped over this fence, and it was a Rottweiler on a porch that was up like this. I jumped the fence. It was like the fence you open up like that, the metal fence you could see through.
Yeah.
I jumped over that. I landed in the yard. I looked to the left, and there was a dog on the porch. And the porch was like you had to walk up the steps to get to the back door. The dog was laying on that part, on the porch. I looked at him. He looked at me, and the privacy fence was probably about 12 feet back or whatever. It was a small yard. The garage was here, and it was a little bit of grass and stuff. It was probably about 12 feet, maybe 20 feet. I see the dog. He see me, and I just started running. I jump over the fence, landed on my feet. Boom.
6 feet.
Man, my right hand to God. I jumped over this fence. But, somebody shooting at me.
Right.
And then it's a dog about to bite me. I mean, it was just like, I was just in survival mode. Like, I got to get out of here. I didn't dive over the fence. I ran and I jumped over the fence, man. God gave me powers, man. I was a superhuman that day. I was just trying to survive. And I thought I was going to die. I started coughing up blood because I think this bullet punctured my lung, and I started coughing up blood. And I was like, I was just praying to God. I was like, I think I'm gonna die. And I was like, God, I just want to see my kids before I die.
Wow.
I want to see my kids. So I was going to their house, and then I see this guy, probably about 5 or 6 blocks away from where I was at, where I got shot at. And I ran it's probably about 12 blocks, maybe 10.
With 2 gunshots.
Yeah. But I was hunched over then. This arm I had this arm up like this, and this arm was hanging down. And I was like, I couldn't hardly. I could talk, but it was like a little hard to breathe. But I was coughing up blood, and I saw this dude. He was out. I said, "Hey, bruh, hey man, can you help me? I just got shot." And then he freaked out, man. I thought he was gonna shoot me too. He was like, "Man, get the fuck away from my car! Get away from my car!" Because I was trying to get a ride. I wanted him to give me a ride to my baby mom's house. Cause like I said, I thought I was gonna die. My whole thing was I just need to go see my kids because I was supposed to be there with her. So I felt like, I don't know, it was like I don't know what I was thinking when I was, it was life or death type of deal. I'm thinking I'm gonna die. And so I was like, I just wanted to get a ride because I was getting tired. So he started yelling and freaking out. So then I just started walking off because I couldn't run. I was too tired. I didn't have enough energy to run. Did
you have any pain?
No, I didn't really feel no pain. It was just, it was hard to breathe. And I was coughing up blood. But my mindset, I was set on getting to her house so I can, see my kids before I die. Like, I really thought I was going to die.
Wow.
And so I get to the door. I knock on the door. She answered. And I say, I'll never forget this. And she, I said, don't panic. Don't panic. I just got shot. And then as soon as I said that, she just, And of course she was living at home with her mom. and my kids was living there with their grandmother and whatever, and they weren't up. I think I might have saw them, and so I was sitting down. They gave me a chair. I was sitting like almost right in front of the door, and they called 911, and I was like, well, I just need some water, and she was like, no, you can't have no water because you got shot and this and that. I said, I want some water, and she kept telling me no. And then I just exploded. Like, I was calm the whole time. I said, if I'm gonna die, I want some water. And her mother was like, get him some water, get him some water. She gave me some water, I drank it, and then her neighbor, because my car was still over there, and but I had my keys in my pocket, and her neighbor, we was all cool. Like I said, most, the black people, like I said, they knew me, we was cool. I used to hang out with their kids, the little kids and all that. We was all friends and stuff. So I said, hey Kelly, hey man, go get my car, man. I told him where it was at. And then the ambulance came, they put me on this gurney. It was not even a gurney, it was like a wooden board, and they had me strapped to it. And I was like, hey man, this thing is hard. I was still talking, I was still lucid and everything. I knew what was going on. And they was like, well, we got to put you on this and this and that. And when I went to the hospital, I was at MCO, and it was a bunch of people in there.
MCO.
Yeah. Medical College of Ohio, I think it is, but it's a different name now. But it was one black nurse there. It was a black dude, and everybody else was white. And like mind you, I was in my early 20s, and they didn't give me no anesthesia or nothing, and they had to cut in between my ribs and stick this tube in there because my lung had collapsed basically because it had a hole in it. I was bleeding.
Wow.
The bullet traveled and punctured my lung.
Oh, wow.
So they had to stick the tube in there with no anesthesia. And I'm like, I got my arm up and I'm trying to squeeze this dude's hand. It was another little guy. I was squeezing his hand. I said, if I could break his hand, I'd feel better. But I couldn't break his hand because his hand was too little. You know what I'm saying? His hand was like this, probably this big. He was a grown man, but he had a little hand.
Yeah, you got big hands,
I
bro.
couldn't. I wanted to squeeze. I wanted to break his hand. In my mind, it was just like it was gonna make me feel better, but I couldn't. So then I was just squeezing it, and the tear rolled down my eye. And the black dude, the black nurse, was behind me right here. And I looked at him. I said, "Bruh, you letting them kill me?" And I didn't pass out, but my body was limp, and I didn't feel no pain.
You said that to the black. Who you say that to?
I said it to the black nurse. He was the only black person in there.
What did you say again?
I said, I looked at him because he was behind me, and I looked back, like he was standing like right here. I could see his face. And I said, bruh, you letting them kill me.
Oh, man.
He said, no, man, we trying to help you. I said, man, it didn't hurt this bad when I got shot. I'm still talking all normal. And I had just got a job at this factory. Well, I was just saying at Ford. And I ain't had my 90 days in. And my dad, after it was all, my dad and them came. That's the first thing I said. I said, oh, man, I'm going to lose my job.
Wow.
Like I said, I was thinking like, man, I finally got a good job. I already had 2 kids, and she was pregnant with the third. No, she was actually born in April, so she was a baby. She was born in '93 in April, and this was in June, so she was born already.
So, I'm glad you're still here, brother. Yeah. You know I love you, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
That was amazing. I mean, some details you just shared. I had never heard some of them details, but yeah. I appreciate you sharing, man. Were they able to? Did the bullets go all the way through? Were they able to remove the bullets?
No, I still got a bullet in me, and I coughed one bullet up like 2 years later, because that's the bullet that punctured my lung.
Wait a minute. You can't just gloss over that, man. Say that again.
The bullet that punctured my lung, I coughed it up 2 years later.
Wow. So you care to share that?
I mean,
how did it happen? You said when you got shot in 1993. Yeah. You telling me in 1995 you coughed up a bullet that they weren't able to remove?
Well, they couldn't remove it. They had to cut my lungs open to get it. Just like they said, it'd be worse if for them to try to take this bullet out, they got to cut me all up, to get this bullet out. I think it was like a 25, maybe been a 22. I don't know what it was, but it was a small caliber. Thank God. I mean, but it did a lot of damage. The one that went in my arm, this one was traveling, and this one moved too. It's not here. I don't know where it's at, but it's still in my body.
So tell me, tell me the story of when you coughed the bullet up 2 years later.
I was hanging out, smoking some weed with my boy Dio. We was in my car. I was, like I said, I was still at my job at Ford, and I had a Taurus, and we was rolling around. We was smoking weed, and I used to cough a lot. I used to hack. I used to spit up like loogies and stuff. I guess it was because of that. You know, the bullet in my lungs. It was like inflammation, or I don't know what it was, but I used to spit up a lot of loogies all the time, and I was driving, and I had to spit. And usually I spit outside, but I spit out the window or whatever, but it was coughing so hard, and I just spit. I had a paper towel, I grabbed a paper towel, and I spit in my hand, and it was a bullet. It was the bullet. And Dad was like, he was like, damn, nigga, you spit up a bullet. This and that. And I was gonna get it gold plated and put it on my necklace and all that, and I had to get my car fixed. I'm glad to look back. I'm glad because it kind of glorified that, and they ended up throwing the bullet away or whatever because I had it in my this little tray compartment in my car, and when I took it to the shop, it ended up not being there. So, but I was gonna get it gold plated, like I was feeling all tough. You know what I'm saying? I spit up a bullet, I coughed up a bullet or whatever, blah blah blah. But when I lost it, once I lost it, it was it was pretty much over. But I was adamant, like I was looking for those dudes for a little while, and like I said, God took they faces out of my mind. Like I don't even know what they looked like. I just know there was some black dudes. I'll say that it was black dudes, and I don't have no recollection of what they what they looked like or nothing. So
it's always too many times, bro. Us against us. But if you don't mind, I just want to ask you one more question, man. So tell me, having that experience and those experiences with firearms in your life, tell me, where do you stand on firearm ownership today in 2025?
I believe that every person got the right to own a gun to protect themselves. I'm not out here trying to rob nobody, do no drive-bys or nothing like that. But I own several guns. I don't really carry them with me a lot. Like when I first got my permit to carry, I used to always have a gun on me, and I was just like, that's not me. I don't plan on being somewhere where I really need it like that. I don't hang out a lot, and I don't really like being around people that I don't know. So it's like I'm at a friend's house or family's house or at home or my lady house or whatever. But I got guns at home, and I believe that everybody, if for those that carry it, that's good. But it's just I just don't carry it with me like that.
So I'm sorry, I said one, but I can't do good math. One more. So just one more though. One more. So when you do carry, because you legally can.
Yeah.
When you do carry, do you prefer to carry concealed or open?
Well, I you know what? I've been thinking about that because I didn't watch some of your things, and I kind of prefer to see.
You've been watching. You don't watch some of my what?
Some of your videos.
Well, on what?
On YouTube.
You from the Mud TV. Appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate it.
I done watch some of your videos, and most people say concealed or whatever, but I mean, my permit is for concealed carry, but it's kind of cool to know that when somebody have a gun, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no surprise or whatever. So, I mean,
But you prefer?
I mean, I prefer.
You personally?
Well, me personally, I would have concealed because that's what my permit is for. So, but I'm saying if sometimes you see some people and they see they got a gun, it's like it may calm some stuff down. So, I think it's good for both. Like my permit is for concealed, so it's concealed. But
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, I don't have a. I mean, I say that's. I just do that because that's what the license that I that I own, whatever. That's what I have permit to do, but it has to be concealed. So I can't have it open carry. So, but sometimes that may calm some people down.
Ohio has you can open carry now, but I personally still prefer concealed carry too. I don't like because some people say open carry make you a target to a real criminal, and some people say exactly what you said. So it's tomato.
It's
stay strapped. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Listen, thank God you still here.
Man.
And the reason why that clock is behind you in the background and it hasn't moved is because God has allowed you to stay with us, man. You still here, and it represents you still got time.
Yep.
At that moment when your life flashed before your eyes, man.
It was, man.
Yeah, that clock right there, it represent you still here, man. It ain't moved because you still moving.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, man. Appreciate you, man.
Oh, yeah.
Love you, my brother.
Man, love you too, man.
View from the Mud TV. 49ers.
Cowboys all day. You see, he gonna say that. He gonna say that to me. I don't want to hear that. You see the shirt. You see this? Yeah, Cowboys.
That's why it was upside down. Now.
It's
Click.